Alright, so, Cabernet Sauvignon was a big mystery for a while there. Like, there was a lot of myths surrounding it. Like, people, really liked drinking it, and they really liked the grape, but they had no idea where it came from. And so there was a lot of different theories, like, the French, like the snobs that they are, kept saying that it was like a native, wild grape to France. And there were, some people that thought it was an ancient Roman grape, which is just stupid. And then no one really believed the Spanish whenever they were saying that's from Rioja. Anyway, so then this one badass bitch comes along, and her name was Dr. Carol Meredith. And she was like, you guys need to stop making up all this bullshit about the grape. Like, there's clearly some science that needs to be learned here. Carol Meredith was like a total revolutionary for winemaking. She was married to this winemaker, and instead of being all domestic and shit, she was like, screw that. I'm gonna be a grape geneticist and pioneer modern viticulture. So, her and a research team took a whole bunch of Cabernet Sauvignon grapes, and we're like, okay, we're gonna take these grapes and we're gonna figure some shit out about them with DNA and genes and double chromosome helix things. So that's exactly what they did. She was looking under her microscope or something, and all of a sudden, aha! Eureka! We've got it! And her assistant was like, what is it, doctor? What have you discovered? And Meredith was like, get this. Cabernet Sauvignon. Cabernet Sauvignon. It's the baby bastard of Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon Blanc. They probably just met in the wild one day, either by chance encounter or on a Tinder date or something. Had a one-night stand, and then boom, 9 months later, Cabernet Sauvignon was born. And I've got the science right here to prove it. And her assistant was all like, my God, you've done it! You've cracked the code! This will revolutionize the future of winemaking everywhere. And she busted her ass doing some more of that sciencing. And then she just retired and was like, I'm gonna open up my own winery because I've earned it. And she goddamn did earn it, because she revolutionized wine forever. And that, my friends, is the story of Cabernet Sauvignon.
The red wine. It is the king of red wine grapes.
Is it the Cabernet Sauvignon?
Yes, that is exactly what we're drinking. It's a fairly young varietal, but you should still respect it.
So you're telling me that we're basically drinking the Budweiser of beers. We're drinking the king of red wine.
Do you realize that might be why the fact that Americans, Cabernet Sauvignon is the most popular wine grape for U.S. Americans?
Did you know that Cabernet Sauvignon is grown all over, and it's super popular because the skin is really thick and durable, so it can grow in basically any weather element.
All right.
Did you know that Cabernet Sauvignon is one of the most world-renowned wine grapes in the entire world?
And what about the regions it comes from?
Well, it comes from various different regions. It can be grown on the sides of valleys, mountainsides, or valley flats, or flat plains.
And that
And
probably
the
changes the flavor, I'm sure.
Yes, of course it changes the flavor. So Cabernet Sauvignon grapes that are grown in valley flats versus, mountainsides or valley tops, can be just different flavor and different aromas.
I'm sure. I mean, something like this would probably go so well with some cheese. Maybe a Comté or a Asiago, maybe a Swiss Gruyere, or even a Parmesan.
Parmesan.
Have you ever had Parmesan before?
Maybe once or twice.
Would you like to try some now?
I would love to try some now.
Well, you don't eat the rind, but when in Italy, right?
Well, the thing about Parmesan cheese is that it's Italian. And the fact about Cabernet Sauvignon is that it differs between northern and southern Italy because of the climate, So, so basically, in the northern Italian region, the climate's cooler. Very cold, very cold. Produces a different Cabernet Sauvignon grape versus the southern region, down by Sicily, or down there. Warmer climate. The grapes, the Cabernet Sauvignon grapes produce different.
Wait, you didn't finish your statement there, Josh. What does it produce?
Different tannins.
So it's 1976, right? And we're getting ready to have this competition. So they select 4 French Bordeaux's. One of the Cali competitions happened to be in 1973 Stag's Leap Wine Cellars SLV Cab Sav. So the French people show up to the tasting, and French people, being pompous as fuck, are like, oh, oui, oh, you stupid Americans. Our wine is the shit, your wine is the shit, it sucks, we are superior. The Americans, there's some, fucking Americans, man, they're just doing their best, right? Some humble, modest people. They show up like, hey, bro, this is fucking righteous, fucking Cab Sav blend, man. We're trying to make the best fucking wine from the best grapes, from the best place that we can. And we hope it's beautiful. If you don't recognize, you're blind. And, so we put it up to the judge. There's about like 9 people, they're like, as the British would say, like, hey, top echelon. Good wine tasters, right? And they taste this, and you have the judges, and they're like blindfolded, so they don't know what's what. And they're tasting California wine. California. And they're like, this is France. Oh, yeah, it's like they think that's their shit, right? Little do they know, man, fucking jackasses, that it's California wine. They don't understand. So, end of story. California wine came out much better than the French wine. Some French people would say, hey, judge it again. It's subjective. It could vary. But we all know America is better. And that's the moral of the story.